Oh, he's got balls. Oh, we got somebody. Oh, shoot. There we go. There we go. Got you. That's one. I still know that there's another one. You ain't slick. You's not slick. Come on, come around the corner. There we go. Ooh, one. Oh my god, they really gonna have us fucking do 3 sliding knife kills. Come on, man. I'm not even bothering you. I'm just trying to get these sliding knife kills. Leave me alone. There we go. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. Oh my god. This entire time I've been playing this map and I have not seen that till today. Oh wait, so that's the allegiance. Wait, so we get our own sim. Yes. Oh my god, I've been saying this forever. We needed a sim for the allegiance. What is that?
10 seconds. Get ready to move.
There we go. I have to be one of the few people that thinks that the MP7 is overrated. Or at least this iteration of it in this game. Like, I just don't like the stocks on it. Like, I like the MP7 in Combat Arms. If you guys don't know what Combat Arms is a first-person shooter MMO. And they have the Galil, they have the MP5, they have a lot of different guns on there. M416, all of that. And I really like the MP7 on Combat Arms. I really do. Like, I would choose that over the MP7 in this game any day. Oh my god, fuck this. The VTOL has got to be one of the most annoying things to deal with ever. Fuck you. There we go. There we go. I know, I'm liking this ZLR special. I really am. I really wish I saved up all of my freaking COD points instead of getting it though, and I could have just simply got this battle pass. But I didn't think the battle pass was coming out this soon. Like, I heard, like, with the whole Black Lives Matter and the riots and the protesting going on, that they would kind of backpedal it and would just kind of delay it. I didn't think that they was actually going to release it like this. Right, so I thought I had a lot more time to put together more money to buy the battle pass. And before anybody says, well, it's only 1,000 just to get the battle pass, I'm broke. Okay, where is he? Hello. He's good. Man, fuck being stunned so much. I might just get battle hardened just so I can not be stunned. I think the only thing that I have a problem with when it comes to this season is that we don't have a new sniper, right? They added a new SMG, they added a new assault rifle. Hell, they even gave us Kali sticks, which I am fully grateful for. I am fully grateful for the Kali sticks. It's something I want to practice with and train with in real life. But a new sniper would be really appreciated. Come on, we only have like 3.
Lucky my teammates are garbage, bro. Young Chaco clan, garbage, man. Stupid garbage. Jack, stupid garbage. Killjoy, retarded garbage.
I really appreciate what has been so far released with season 4. I really do. I really do like this season, but I just feel like they could have at least given us like a sniper rifle. They could have at least did that, you know? We have so many other things. We have literally so many other things. So many other things. We have an assault rifle, we have an SMG, we have Kali sticks, and I really do love the Kali sticks. I personally want to train with them in real life, and it is a goal of mine to kind of study and practice with it. And I do think the Kali sticks are a step in the right direction. You know, we could start adding more melee weapons, more specific ones. I don't know, more melee weapons, more throwables. Hell, fucking add shuriken, throwing stars, you know, whatever, kunai. I know FaZe Jev joked about stones, but I mean, hell, slingshot maybe, if we're really going for it. If we're really going for it, slingshot, go ahead, go nuts. I knew the Galil when I first saw it, not from Call of Duty Black Ops, but mainly from, what was the game that I played? Combat Arms. It's a first-person shooter MMO. I used to really play it a lot. I think one of the first videos I had uploaded to YouTube getting into gaming was from Combat Arms. And I still do like Combat Arms. If I had the time, I would play it. But I don't know. I don't think I have time, and I don't think I have the space on my computer to actually put it on and install it and play it and record it as much as I used to. Besides, I'm not really sure if there is audience for it anymore. I'm not sure if there's a player base for it. Like, Combat Arms was popping, man. Combat Arms had everything. It had the MP7, the MP5, it had the M416, the M4A1. It had Uzis, it had RPGs, it had China Lakes, it had the M32s, it had everything. There's a fucking moth somewhere in this fucking room and it keeps flying near me, like, fuck off. Oh. C4 is so fucking overrated. It's just filthy. It's a coward's tactic. It's basically, hey, I can't kill you, so I'm just gonna throw this explosive brick at you and pray that it fucking kills you. Because engaging you is just way too terrifying for me, and it's way beyond my skill set. Of course, I get tripped up on a barrel. Because I panic. Whenever I get shot, I panic. I'm scared. I'm a little baby. Oh my god, this CLR is so freaking good. Oh my god, this ZLR is so good. Oh man, I almost had it. I'm really popping off this match. I'm trying to figure out what other MMOs that I used to play. I used to play Nine Dragons. Now Nine Dragons, it was like these two factions, or these two alignments, right? There was the black clans, then there was the white clans, and Nine Dragons was usually one group of martial arts groups or clans, and the white clans and the black clans weren't necessarily good and evil. Like, I'd say the black clans had what? The Heavenly Demons, the I'm trying to figure out what it was. I know there was the Heavenly Demons, the Sacred Flower, and there was some thieves, right? Thieves or bandits. And I know in the white clan there was the Shaolin, there was the Wu-Tang, and there was the League of Beggars, I think. And each group had like specific martial arts that it did. Wu-Tang only practiced with swords. They followed the way of Tao. The Shaolin used basically pole staffs or pole arms, spades, hand-to-hand combat, and I think League of Beggars, I'm trying to remember what they use. They use like clubs. They use like clubs and short staffs and shit. I know that the Sacred Flower, they used like circular blades, they used daggers, and I'm trying to figure out what else did they use. I think that's it. I think that's it. Think that's it. I think that's all I can really recall for them. The Heavenly Demon, I know they use sabers. It was really heavy on sabers and axes, I think. Or was that the thieves? I think the thieves use like spears and axes. The thing that made me love Nine Dragons so much as an MMO is because it had this server-wide event called shit. The thing that made me love Nine Dragons so much was because it had this server-wide event where I think weekly or almost weekly it would be black clans versus white clans, right? So it didn't matter what level you were, it didn't matter what clan you were in. If you stepped into the Bloody Plains, which was an area that you could load into, ooh, Lord help you, man, that was a PvP area. All right, you stepped in the Bloody Plains and you forfeited your soul. All right, you forfeited any right to protection that you would have been afforded. Like, Bloody Plains is where people went to die. Bloody Plains is where you as a level 50 would just get destroyed by level freaking 600. I'm not even sure how high the levels went in Nine Dragons. All I knew is that it could go very high. It could go very high. I think, oh, we took it out. I think you could even go as high as, I don't know, I think you could go as high as 600. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But I know like they had like different stages or different like groupings of levels, like gathering chi, opening chakra, and stuff like that. But once you had completed that little section or that little level, then you had to do like this chi reset. You had to meditate, you had to sit down, you had to basically click yin and yang correctly in a certain order, and then once you did that, I think you either got a lot more attribute points or all of your attribute points were reset or something like that. It was cool. You could learn martial arts, you could practice it. The martial arts was introduced in stages, right? So you would be in your faction, you would be practicing. Let's say you're in the Shaolin, you'll be practicing like a palm thrust, or you'll be practicing a certain move. They had these training dummies. You had to execute these moves within like a timed little quick time event. You did that enough successfully times, you learned the martial arts move, and the martial arts move usually had 3 stages. So like there was like the palm thrust maybe, and then there would be a palm thrust with a elbow added in, and then the final stage of the martial arts move that showed that you fully mastered would probably be like a palm thrust, elbow, and then a spinning reverse kick or something. It was an amazing game. You had lots of armor, you had lots of weapons, you had the ability to enchant them with dragon's blood. It's fun. It was fun. All right, you had lots of different enemies, lots of different maps. You could even go into other factions areas, right? So it wasn't like any other game where like, oh, this area is off limits to X, Y, and Z. No, you could go into, if let's say you are a Shaolin and you wanted to go into, say,
Capture and defend the hard point. When it moves, you follow.
Sacred Flower territory. So as a white clan martial artist, you can enter into a black clan area. Well, you could, but the area is regarded by high level guards, NPCs, right? So you'd be attacked on sight. So usually only the strongest players would try to attempt to go to another faction's area and try to literally destroy any noobs in that map. God help you if you actually had somebody high level there, but usually the NPCs took care of all the threats. I hardly saw anybody get past NPCs, but when they did, oh boy, oh boy. But Nine Dragons had a lot of different stuff. They even had what was it, wounding. Like if you died enough times or you got defeated enough times, you had wounds. These wounds would temporarily limit how much health you could maximally have, or what was the maximum health you could have. Let's say you had 20% wounds, and let's say at max you would have 4,000 health. If you had 20% wounds, I'm just throwing together a number, I'm not actually using math because I'm terrible, you could only get back about, like, let's say 3,600. So to heal your wounds, you'd have to go to a doctor. Doctor would charge you to heal your wounds. Also, depending on where you died at, you could be revived by another player, or you could revive yourself. Other times, if you wanted to, I could probably get this mechanic wrong in my head because it's been several years since I played. I do know that there was inns and hotels in Nine Dragons, and you could rent out an inn, or you could buy a night at the inn. There was food, there was drinks. Certain factions needed drinks more so than other ones, like the League of Beggars. Their martial arts heavily relied on them being drunk. I think outside of Nine Dragons though, my favorite other MMO had to be Air Rivals. I think now it's called Air Forge or something. I don't know what it's called now. It used to be Air Rivals. Now I think it was changed recently to Air Forge. But the thing that got me with it as well was like there was these two different factions, the ANI and the CPU. I think I could get the CPU wrong. It might be a different set of abbreviations, but the ANI were usually considered like the bad guys. Like they were the rebels. They was like, oh, we don't like the CPU. We don't like its government structure. So the ANI was just like a group of freaking terrorists pretty much. I could probably be demonizing them because I chose CPU, but CPU was like the government. It was order. It was the empire pretty much, right? So it was the empire, but I thought it was good. We didn't do anything nefarious or whatnot, right? But it was just like the ANI and the empire was just the ANI and the CPU was just beefing. Like they was just beefing. So Air Rivals was just like Nine Dragons in the sense that with Air Rivals, you could have somebody from the ANI literally run up into your territory. You can literally have somebody from the ANI run into your territory, right? And easily kill you over and over and over. Wait, what is this? Ew, this is not my gun. This is not my sniper. I mean, this is not my shotgun. But the thing that made Air Rivals so similar to Nine Dragons is that the ANI could easily invade your territory. They could easily invade your map, right? So it didn't matter if you was a level 5 training in a simple spawn area, right? And A&I could infiltrate that map if they were strong enough, and they could kill these guards that appeared at these warp gates,
10 seconds.
and they could literally cause some trouble, man. They could literally cause some trouble. I remember when I was in high school or middle school. When I was in middle school, they and I used to invade like the little basic maps, the little low-level maps so much, right? They would invade these little low-level maps, and they would just spawn kill us over and over and over and over again, right? And the reason they did this was because in Air Rivals, you could collect badges. You could collect these badges of different players. The more high level the player, the more XP that they got from your badge, right? The more valuable your badge was. So they would usually spawn camp and spawn kill a lot of us low level players, mainly because they wanted it. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing to you that you did to me.
We've got a UAV on station, ready for flyover. UAV in AO.
Bro, this dude every single time. How is he not number one on his team? Okay, because he only has 9 seconds. He's over here focusing on killing all of us. Meanwhile, his teammates are the ones doing all the work.
Hardpoint secure.
He's just like, hard point. Actually going for the objective, that's for losers. You know what's for a winner like me? Absolutely demolishing the enemy team. With one hand tied behind my back, blindfolded.
Go, get to the next one.
I'm tempted to just let this shit keep going. Another thing I liked about Air Rivals, not just that the ANI and the CPU could basically spawn camp each other, right? It's also the fact that every once in a while we would have wars, right? And the game had democracy. We could all, as the ANI and as the CPU, as our separate factions, we could elect our war leaders, right? So we could elect who would be the chief, we could elect who would be like the commander, we could elect all of that. And usually people would have these campaigns and stuff, but for the most part the CPU and the ANI would have these wars every once in a while, and they would have this mothership that had a certain amount of health, and the mothership could send out certain like enemies, certain NPCs and stuff like that, certain bosses. But as a whole, the mothership had a certain amount of health, and sometimes in these wars there were certain like gateways or bunkers and stuff like that, or points, and we had to defend these points, or we had to destroy these points. And that's where the whole map invasion really played an important part, because you could literally, if you coordinated well enough, you had enough high levels going with you, you could literally just storm through the other faction or the other alliance's gates, and you could just literally bulldoze through. Like the warp gate guards, they were nothing. I played it enough times and I played it long enough that I got to a point that I was semi strong, right? I know when I first got into Air Rivals I was kind of frustrated because I was at such a low level that I wasn't able to really do much. I wasn't able to really kill anybody except from other low levels. But Air Rivals is like I didn't even describe Air Rivals. I didn't even describe what it was about. It's like this sci-fi dogfighter airplane game. So like you had 3 different or 4 different types of gears. You had the A gear, which was pretty much a tank. It was like a surface to air missile type of thing. It could also fly throughout the air if you really needed it to, but its main jam was like surface to air, and it had the specific ability of being able to release very powerful shots, very powerful surface to air shots. And that's where the whole spawn camping, spawn killing thing really came into play, because as an A gear, you could literally camp behind a warp gate, right? You could camp behind a warp gate. Warp gate's right here. You're an A gear right here. People have to go through the warp gate. As the A gear, if you was positioned just right, they couldn't technically have enough time to aim down at you, and you could literally just shoot them out of the gate. You could literally just collect kills like it was nothing. That's what was disgusting about those guys. M gears were medics, so like they could heal other people, they could heal people's shields, they could heal their own shields. They were really essential, and they were really essential in wars. It's just they didn't really have too much offensive capabilities, right? B gears were kind of like a jack of all trades type of thing. They had well balanced stats, offensively, defensively, all of that type of stuff, right? But what B gears had that I really liked about them is they had two unique abilities, right? High level B gears had the ability to have this move called chaffs. It created like these little orbs or these little shields that allowed them to take a certain amount of damage. So they could take about 5,000 damage with that, and then after those things were exhausted, then they would start taking regular damage. Or what made the B gears truly ferocious in air rivals was the fact that they could literally self-destruct, and they took out everybody with them. Everybody within a certain range of them would take damage proportionate to their health and their shields combined. Or I mean, I think their health, but I mean, it was enough damage that as a B gear, if you had enough money as a B gear, you could just go through a gate, explode during a war, just go through a gate, explode, take out 12 freaking ships, 12, maybe 24. You could take out a lot. All right, wars in air rivals was just ferocious. You would have A gears camping gates, you would have M gears healing up entire squadrons, and then you have the B gears who just literally came out of nowhere and just suicide kamikaze bombed everybody right out the gate. I'd say there was also I gears. I gears were just, they were like the Itachis of that MMO, right? They were like pure offense. They could they were pure offense, right? They could literally do almost nothing wrong. You really did not want to fight them. I don't know what their ability was, but I don't know what their ability was, mainly because I never really cared about an I gear. But I know that they were just pretty much the Itachis of the freaking game. Nobody really wanted to deal with them. Nobody wanted to fight an I gear. Also know that B gears could turn invisible, so food for thought. Thinking back to all of it, it is amazing. I also love that air rivals, at least at the beginning, I don't know if they still implement it now, but you could customize your missiles. Like, you could customize the trails of the missiles. You had different types of missiles. Some were like slow nukes, right? So like they were really slow. They could hardly hit anything, but I guarantee you if they was able to hit that target, they did some big damage. I'm trying to figure out what were they called. I think they was called Wawoos. They all had weird names, right? But if you paid money, if you did like the little microtransactions, you could have like cool trails for your missiles. Some of them had like ripple effects, some of them was lightning, others were like lasers, others was just fire, right? I think mine was lasers. I liked lasers. I managed to get somebody in the game that was friends with me to give me the laser trail for the missile. And if you don't know, you can, if you have enough materials, right? If you have the right materials, you can actually enhance your missiles. You can actually enhance your weapon. So you can make a weapon stronger. You could make something that wasn't really all that strong into something even stronger. I had a weapon that was called the Holy Cross. So the Holy Cross was a missile that would fire out 2 sets of 4 missiles. So it could fire about 4 missiles in one go. But there was an ability for a high enough level B gear and I gears, I think, and other gears that could fly, where you could fire at least 3 to 5 more missiles, or even up to 8 more. So you could literally shoot an entire barrage, an entire hailstorm of missiles. You could literally make it rain hell upon somebody. So I did. So imagine this B gear with like 3 glowing white orbs behind it. This freaking futuristic ship with like a freaking shape like a freaking stealth bomber, right? With 3 white orbs behind it, and then a glowing circle appears in front of it, and you just see a dozen pink or purple lasers just simply coming down upon you. And then the next thing you know, half your squad is dead. Half your squadron is dead. Half their ships are destroyed. It was fun, man. We would just go through ANI territories and just simply spawn, just spawn kill everybody, right? We would take out the warp guards. We would just spawn kill everybody. We just keep going. We just wouldn't care. We would just keep going. We would try to help each other out. We would try to, you know, tell people what's going on and all of that type of stuff. But fat chance, man. If you weren't a certain level, you couldn't hang with the big boys. You could not hang with the big boys if you didn't have a high enough level. If I can find it, and if I can figure out if I can migrate my account. I don't know if my account still exists anymore. I know that before they allowed you to migrate your account, provided you knew your password and your username. I don't even know my password anymore, so I don't know my password. I forgot my username. I'm hoping I can migrate it again. I really do. I hope my B gear is still there, but if I can get that game and I can actually get gameplay of it and, you know, put it on my PC, I would do it. Like Airforge, Air Rivals, it's called Airforge now, I think, but it swapped hands, it swapped different companies, just like Nine Dragons. Nine Dragons has had it worse because Nine Dragons has swapped companies, I think 3 or 4 times now. And so several times people thought Nine Dragons would be kind of scrapped and dead. Nine Dragons has somehow found a way to inch itself into somebody else's hands, and they've managed to keep the game going, which I fully appreciated. You know, Nine Dragons, Airforge, Combat Arms, those games are what I played in my middle school years. Those things are nostalgia. But those games are nostalgia, and if I could play them again, I would gladly. I just don't think Airforge really has the base that it used to have, right? So they had to fuse some of the servers together, just like Nine Dragons. The servers weren't really as popping as they were back then, so to keep the games alive, to keep the servers kind of full, they had to fuse them all together, or fuse most of them together, so more people could play on the same servers. But I think that's a common MMO tactic, right? Like, server populations are down, you fuse the servers together, you get people to play on the same servers. Popular, I don't know. I think that's a common tactic though. You know, you fuse the servers together, people get on, they see that the server is heavily populated, they think that the game's popping, they get on. The servers are heavily populated, that means there's more for other people that get into the game to do. People can have more fun. People can have more fun, people can actually do stuff, people don't have to actually wait for queues. I don't think that Nine Dragons had like dungeons and bosses and raids and stuff like that, at least not to my knowledge. Like, there were areas that you could go through, there was lots of bosses around the map that you could possibly fight and kill and get special items for, but as like dens and stuff, I don't really know. Like, all I know is Nine Dragons from when I played it was like heavily heavily grindy, right? You really spent most of your time grinding and killing like certain NPCs to level up and learn more kung fu and stuff like that, and you was really just kind of prepping for that war that would happen in the Bloody Plain. You was just prepping. Like the Bloody Plain was a who's who of what, you know? Everybody and their grandma was probably gonna be there, showing up for the Bloody Plain, coming out there with their best martial arts, their best outfits, their best weapons, trying to do something, knowing that they probably won't, right? For me, it was an accomplishment not to die in like 10 seconds in the Bloody Plain whenever I saw somebody. I'm trying to remember when was the time I actually successfully killed somebody in Bloody Plain, and how did I feel about it? I don't know, but I like the event notifications that Nine Dragons had. Like it would have like 20 minutes before Black versus White clan wars in Bloody Plains would start, and then it would show up again to remind you 10 minutes later, just so you didn't forget. I'm trying to remember, there was like one map, one part of Nine Dragons that was like a barter and trade area. I think it was called Hefei. Hefei was like really hot. That was a hot spot. Like it wasn't a hot spot in the sense like, okay, everybody fought there and shit. No, Hefei was just like Traders Central, right? Everybody would just be sitting somewhere in Hefei. Like they would just kind of be sitting, I don't know. You just see large swaths of people just kind of sitting on their knees in the middle of a village in the desert. Hefei was like this big Arabic Middle Eastern type of place. Even though Nine Dragons takes place in China, right? Even though it takes place in like ancient China. Like Hefei was that place. Hefei was that area that all the people that wanted to trade would be there. You wanted dragon's blood, it was there. You wanted certain types of elixirs, it was there. You wanted certain weapons and certain enchantments, best believe somebody had it in Hefei, right? Hefei was where everybody could brush shoulders, everybody could kind of, you know, be around each other, I guess. But I'm trying to figure out, was Hefei like a thing where it's like everybody could fight each other or what? Like I know like they had like a little PvP arena part in Hefei, but I don't think it was like, okay, well you could literally just go up and kill somebody from a white martial arts clan versus somebody from a black martial arts clan. I don't think it was. I think the reason I fell out of playing Nine Dragons, I fell out of playing Air Rivals, and I fell out of playing Combat Arms is mainly because in Air Rivals there just wasn't enough events happening, right? The servers just weren't as populated as people would like. Wow, everybody left except that dude. So the thing was like the events and the servers, it wasn't really that popping, you know? There weren't as many people on one faction side than the other one, and it was hard to get participation for the wars to go up. So you would often find yourself being the only one among maybe like a dozen other people probably trying to defend the mothership or the base, right? Meanwhile, the enemy has like 3-4 dozen people. It was just it was not fun, I'll tell you that. Nine Dragons, I think Nine Dragons, I forgot. All right, Nine Dragons, I forgot my password. I forgot, you know, my username. Sometimes I had to keep going through the whole process, and eventually I just don't know, like life happened. I just couldn't get on it as much as I could. I missed out on a lot of the Black versus White martial arts clan wars that took place in the Bloody Plain, and I don't know, the people that I used to play the game with just were no longer there, right? So I used to be a part of the Sacred Flower. So the Sacred Flower is like direct opposite of the Shaolin. So the first two characters I played 9 Dragons with was one was from Sacred Flower, and the other one was from the Shaolin. So the Sacred Flower is an all-women's martial arts clan. They use poison, they use daggers, they use fans, and they use circular blades or circular disc. The Shaolin, they use gloves, they use pole arms, and they use cudgels. But I gotta say, what really got me to play 9 Dragons, what really got me to love 9 Dragons, was when I had somebody in Sacred Flower, even though it was like an all-girls martial arts group, somebody had a guild in Sacred Flower, right? And they were a mother. They was a mother in real life with kids and everything, and they were just so understanding and just so caring, and they literally helped me through the game. They babied me along, right? So they gave me items that I needed, they gave me the proper advice, and just showed me how to actually play the game. They showed me how to properly play the game, and I have nothing but love and respect for somebody like that. Whew. But I don't know what happened. I think eventually one day life happened with them too, and they just couldn't get on the game as much as they wanted to, and I don't know. I guess I just fell off. I don't think I was in that guild anymore. I don't think that guild was the same. But there's no way that woman would ever know that I'm the one from that guild. I don't even know her name anymore. She probably does not remember 9 Dragons or my name anymore. But I just want her to know that, hey, I was that middle schooler you helped out, right? In 9 Dragons, I was in your guild, and that meant the world to me. All right, that's what really got me into 9 Dragons. Without you, I would have never been as invested in 9 Dragons as I was. We finally unlocked the Fennec. Let's see about putting this on a set. I'm gonna put it on here mainly because I have nothing else. Unlocked with Battle Pass tier 15. No! So we finally unlocked the Fennec. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put this on with the Odin, and we are going to try to level it up and try to put some more attachments on it. Hopefully it does well. Let's see how this thing does in some matches.
He actually can't do anything. Kind of trying to play the what? Like holy shit.
Fucking. Alright, bro.
Taking the piss, bro. Mute me.